Okay. Hello, Daily Coaching and Accountability Partners. David Halpert of Mastery Consulting. And today's topic is an interesting marketing concept called D.O.C, which I'm guessing none of you have heard of before. So in marketing circles, D.O.C is very well known, very commonly known principle. And essentially it's the three key elements that affect the response rate and the results of a marketing campaign. In order of power, these are the big three. D stands for data, D-A-T-A. O stands for offering, and C stands for creative. We'll come back to that in just a second. So a lot of people know that I used to run a marketing company. So folks that I work with will approach me with marketing pieces and say, Dave, can you look at this? What do you think about that piece? Interestingly enough, some of you know what I do. If somebody gives me a marketing piece, I won't even look at it. I'll just look at them and go, how many did you mail out? Oh, I mailed out 5,000. Okay. And how many times did the phone ring? Oh, it rang about 25 times. I'll hand it back to them and go, great, I love the piece. I won't even look at it. Most people are concerned with the creative. What people are really asking me is not, what do I need to do in order to get a business result? What they're really kind of asking me for is, hey, Dave, give me validation, make me feel good, give me some love externally for my work, make me feel good. From a businessman and businesswoman's perspective, we don't care about that stuff. We don't care if people like the way the piece looks. We care about the response and the result, if that makes sense. So creative is what everybody's always asking me for. Now, creative is important. It is the third most important and essential element of a marketing campaign, however. So let's come back to that one. Number one is data, D-A-T-A. So what does that mean? That means how many people you have to market to, how warm they are, and how frequently you market to them. So let's just keep it simple for a minute. Data is your database. It's how many of them and how well do you know them. So if you have a database of 1,000 names and I have a database of 10,000 names, I'm likely going to have a better business, presuming we use it in the same way. If you have 1,000 names in the database, I have 1,000 names in the database, but your 1,000 are friends and family and past clients, circle of influence, and my 1,000 are leads that I purchased cold somewhere, you're going to likely have a better business, presuming we do the same activities. Is this making sense? Data is the most essential ingredient to a marketing campaign. Now, if you and I both have 1,000 leads and they're warm, it depends on the source they come from. Mine might be more qualified for my product than yours, but data is the most critical component of a marketing campaign, which is why all of you always hear me talking about database marketing and trying to accumulate leads. And notice that the leads I'm accumulating are people that I meet in person. Those of you that know me, I'll literally go up to people every day and go, hi, here's my card. Do you have a card? And if they don't have a card, I'll tell them, here, can you just write on a second card of mine, your name, phone, email, and give it back to me? I'm accumulating leads all over the place to add to my databases, to add to my data, the most important and essential ingredient for a business. Okay, so that's number one. Number two is the offering. What's the offering? The offering is your product. But to be more specific, from a marketing perspective, it's not just your product and the pricing. That's the offering, of course, right? But perhaps more importantly, marketers would say your offering is your uniqueness. So those of you that know me know that when I found this niche that we're doing right now, where I could do retail coaching, if you will, where I could, basically talk business and be with people all day long, which I kind of love, right? And wanted to grow this thing, what I determined immediately is, how can I position myself so I'm different from everybody else? And some of you know it's because I do in-person coaching. Who does that, right? Running around in a car and visiting people like a maniac, right? The other piece was, and is, I'm a business coach for people within specialized niches. So I am not an expert in your product. My specialty is just developing and growing businesses. So I'm a business coach, not a whatever coach. And I do coaching in person in addition to some other things. And that's the uniqueness, if that makes sense. That's the offering. Now, the offering is also, what are your specific products? You all have your version of this, by the way, right? But what makes unique, marketers understand that's the key differentiator in business that drives the highest return on investment, the greatest leverage, and the greatest performance. What makes you different? A lot of people I work with are in industries with a tremendous amount of competition, okay? So you must be in some way very different from everybody else on the face of the planet. Some of you have heard me use this quote from the old guitarist of the Grateful Dead, Jerry Garcia, who used to say, "You don't want to be the best in the world at what you do. You want to be the only one in the world to do what you do." That's offering. The third essential element, still important, is the creative. And creative is all the stuff you're thinking of. What colors should I use? What call to action? How large should the phone number be on it? What should the content be? What types of photos and visuals, et cetera, and marketing and videos, et cetera? That's the creative. The creative is the artistic side. The creative is the messaging side. It's important. Give you a couple quick examples. Have you noticed that most of the Fortune 500 or some of the greatest Fortune 500 type companies have red and yellow logos in their logo because those are colors that pop off a white background the most? Have you ever noticed that when you see really effective marketing ads, the phone number is really large and there's a call to action near the phone number that's a very short question or sentence? You know, other things that you'll see in there is great marketing will cater to all four of the personality types in the DISC assessment. The drivers or sharks are interested in results. So there'll be something in your marketing that shows performance or your expertise. The influentials or dolphins or socials like things that are just social and fun. So there might be something in your marketing that is fun or social. The steadies or golden retrievers or empathetic listener types, right? The relationship oriented want to see ritual and tradition, and family and relationship and longevity. And you want to share that in your marketing. And the conscientious beaver, the organized attention to detail perfectionists, want to see facts and figures and excellence in process and detail. And so you want to have those types of facts or comparables or statistics to prove your point. So those are some examples of what's important in the creative. But I also want to emphasize for you as part of this video that creative is only the third most essential ingredient. D.O.C. Data Offering Creative. Based on what you just heard in this video, what will you do to perhaps tweak or improve the quality of your marketing going forward? Hope this was helpful, folks.